Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and finally a new video on the 2019 Nissan NV200. So the bits for this van was a bit of a nightmare to get. We do seem to have quite a few of them now, but there is still a bit of a list to get. Before we do get started, I want to say a huge thank you to Derby Auto Salvage, guys. I rung them literally yesterday, 1 o'clock, gave them a list and said a few little bits still that we still do need to get, but for now we're going to crack on and start putting, like, we've got a nice new bonnet for it and we don't want to put it in the back of the van or lean it up against the wall. So the safest place and the safest thing to do with that bonnet is actually chuck the new hinges on and chuck the bonnet straight on. So let's get on and start the process of getting this one back on the road. Bit of a plus, bit of a fail. So we know where it's had a little push. We've seen this time and time again, where they have a push in the front and it's all bolted together, like the headlights pushed. So we've got this huge gap here all the way around, but the bonnet has shifted over and pushed that wing out. Not a problem. It's going to be easy, that is. We've got a little bit of damage on the tip of this one, and you can see it's pulled that over as well, but I'll just put my fingers in there and pushed it. It's very, very flimsy. Bit of a fail, bit of a win. So I've got the bonnet, the front panel, the bonnet, cross member, and the slam panel, all from one guy. And the bonnet's fine, cross member's fine. This slam panel is actually the wrong one. Nothing like ours. It is very, very similar, but ours is a lot slimmer. This is for a Mark 1, ours is a Mark 2 obviously. And the other bits, we've got the light panel. Sorry guys, I've got sellotape stuck to my foot. The light panel is going to be fine, but the intercooler that we've been sent, it looks nothing like our one. Again, this has got to be off a Mark 1 and ours is the Mark 2. We've got the headlight as well, which is the right one. So got a few bits, but I do need to swap that out because the minute we weld in that new post there, that new headlight panel, we're going to need that to line it all up and get everything about right. So I'm going to have to cut it there just for a little while until I can source one of these and get it delivered. Chris was one step ahead of me this morning. I arrived at the yard, left my house not even knowing what we was going to be doing today, what project. And as you can see, he's pulled this in and made a start on it. We have been waiting for various bits since we last left off. So Chris got quite a lot of it stripped out there, moved everything out of the way, and he's actually put the dozer under it. But this is not a huge pull. This is just a piece of tin. So we are just pushing off the lower beam there. It's not going to be any force whatsoever. And actually the point of pulling it is not to save that panel, because that panel's toast. We're not going to save that. All it's to really do is just square this up here so that when we put the new panel in there, it's going to be a correct fit and it's going to be on its spot welds. But this inner panel here is slightly damaged, and we are going to need that because the one we received had actually been cut through there. I didn't ask him to save it, so that's kind of the plan. We want to get that squared off. I'll record as much of it as I can, and then we can get the new one slipped in there. We was waiting for the intercooler. We received the wrong one, and I've just matched the numbers up there on that one, 005, and that one's 005 as well. And this was sent out as a direct replacement straight away. So we've got that now. We are still struggling with the top landing panel. I couldn't really show it last time we was out there But if you actually look at the width of the one that we received and the width of our one, they are completely different. They have a lot of similarities. So these uprights and the top part, they're actually the same, Chris, aren't they? It is just this bottom part. And ours, unfortunately, our bottom part is destroyed as well. I rang the dealer to get one of these because I can't find one online. How much was it? 280? 230 plus the VAT. £230 plus the VAT. So what Chris just said was, this shouldn't hold us up. We are going to keep looking for a second-hand one. In the meantime, we're going to actually line it up with this. We're just going to use that front hole there and that one front hole there. So it's not actually going to stop us, and that is going to be able to do the trick. So let's crack straight on with it today. Don't forget, guys, it's hardly any tension on this. It's just a piece of tin, and I'm standing well clear of it. But this is the actual piece we want to save. So that kick in there, this actually needs to be straight. So I'm down as close as I can. Do you want to take up the slack in that, mate? I'm going to try and capture a bit of it for you. Oh, it's coming back.
Be more at that angle, obviously.
Well, it's coming back very easily, isn't it?
You have to give that a little tap now, mate.
You've definitely saved it, though. How nice did that come out? Chris did say this piece here as well, it is just slightly... Sorry, I'm quite zoomed in there. Let's zoom out a bit. That's slightly kicked round, so he has put the clamp on there. And we give that a little pull and get that straight as well. I am going to stop there because Chris is just going to be banging around and it's quite loud on the phone.
I'll just have a look there, Rob.
Of course you can.
That's about it, I reckon. That's better.
Let's have a look at it compared to the other side. Yeah, even looks the same shape now, yeah, and in the right place. Well, that was nice and easy, mate. You did say it was like a bit of tin, though. Yeah. So what's the plan now? Drill this off once you've dollied that up?
A little bit, yeah.
Has it?
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to leave you in Chris's capable hands. He's going to drill that off and actually dress up the edge of this wing. And I don't know if it really doesn't really show up on a black vehicle, does it? It's so difficult. But there's actually a little crease through there, and that's just tipped round. You can actually see it there. I'm going to leave you in Chris's capable hands. He's going to do that. I'm going to whip down to the local paint shop and get a colour match can so that we can blow that in, because it's actually quite straightforward, this one, Chris, because that's it, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, there's a little tiny kink on this one.
No, I mean the paint-wise.
Yeah.
We've got, it's like, quite literally, the inside of that, the cross member, or every, don't matter what colour your van is, they come in that colour, as does that landing panel. So we're just going to get a can of paint, colour match for that. I've just got the code out the door. I'll get that done. Chris will crack on. come down, he's mixed the paint up, and all of those colours there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 colours went into that.
Yep.
And that's in that pot there. I didn't get to film it because I was on the phone to Stevie LA, but he's got all these colours, and you've got in there pearl base, medium coarse aluminium, deep black, dark blue, red violet, blue green, violet, and what's that one? Additive for pearl.
That mixes the pearl and the
binds it all together.
Yep.
This is an empty can, completely. Have you got another empty one?
No, everything's in it.
Yeah, everything's in there. There's no paint in there, but all of the all of the thinners and all that sort of stuff is in that can. So they're just basically blanks. I know I've shown this before, but some of you haven't seen it. So this is a blank. He's now set up this silver cap on top, then put the paint lid in there. I'll let you carry on, Jerry. I'm going to film it, otherwise I'll get it wrong. I've bought loads of these, and 99% have all been... I've only ever had trouble with one of them, but it was a really light metallic colour, and it was a bit of an awkward bugger to match on a Fiat 500, but normally they are bang on. So he's put that, and that's actually the original lid for the paint can in there.
That's going to sit.
That little cap's in there, yeah. And then over to your machine. I'm going to stand around this side. And you just heard that go in there then. So it actually squashes. I'll wait till you lift that lid out. It's quite impressive, isn't it?
Very.
So that's your paint, and your paint's in there now.
Yep, that little.
And there's that little bit he's put in with your colour match. So perfect. That's going to be the one. Jerry, I know people are going to ask, if I put your contact details in the video,
yep,
would you post these for people?
I can do.
You can post them.
Yep.
So 99% of the time, these are bang on, aren't they? There was only one I was a bit...
Yeah. Sometimes we might get a variation of the colour.
Yeah.
Nissans are the world's worst ones for that.
You can't guarantee them, but they are pretty good, aren't they? I've had quite a few, so I'll stick Jerry's link in the description, guys. Chris was just messing around getting this done. We're going to talk about it in a second. And that tool room light keeps flashing. It's been driving me mad for months. I've just been down and bought a new tube for it. And I went, look how bright that is in there, Chris. I turned around and it started flashing again. So we're going to convert it to LED in a minute. This has been a little bit challenging. This front panel, this landing panel, is actually completely different. The bottom part here is a lot wider, the earlier ones. And on the actual proper one for it, you can see where it's missing this hole here and there. It actually comes round there, just about there, Chris, you said. It is over there, isn't it? I can show it in a moment. It's basically... I'll put it next to this one. You can see there a big difference. So Chris managed to get a couple of the holes to line up. Well, that front one lines up okay. That front one lines up, and then that one there goes through, and it's actually captivated on that panel that he straightened up. So that's all held down as well. So managed to actually get it back together. We have had to bite the bullet and buy one of these brand new, and it's probably one of the most expensive parts we've had to buy from a dealer. It was very expensive, but we did chat to the guy on the phone, and his name was Clive at Motorline Maidstone, and Clive said he watches the channel and he actually gave us his staff discount. We can say the price. It was still £190
plus the VAT.
£190 plus the VAT for that little piece of metal, and we cannot find one second hand because it's a 2019. The light panel, Chris quite happy with that, getting it all lined up. And of course you can see on that little bit of time lapse. No, you haven't done that one yet. He's started playing around with that passenger wing. He's going to sort this one out and start the process of lining it up. But for the most part, are we putting screws in that or just welding it in?
Tack it.
And then try the headlight in it.
Yeah, get the headlight on it and repair the wing to the headlight. And once that all fits nice, weld it through.
Definitely. And also we'll be concentrating on this big gap that we had in there before, won't we? So far, so good. no joke, that was a lot of work. I actually went out, and Chris has messed around with this so many times to get it quite right. And I think we established early on that front panel is slightly different, but for the most part, it does work to line it up. And I think you would agree, it looks pretty good too. It's now, we're waiting on that front panel, but there's no more for us to film. So we're pretty much going to get that front panel, get it in place. We get that little bit blown in and then send it up to the paint shop, mate, right?
Yeah.
So next time we pick up on it, hopefully we'll be back from the paint shop and we'll be putting it all back together. There is still quite a lot of work to do. We've got to have a windscreen fitted, and there is a couple of very minor bits that I do still need to source for it, but I have flicked through the net and they are available. So we'll have everything here to put it back together. Really happy with how that turned out in just 2 videos. If you haven't seen part 1, guys, go back and check that out before watching this one, where we actually bought this from a subscriber and it was a non-runner. There's always an element of worry when it's a non-runner, but I actually said in that part 1 video, it was so reasonably it was very, very cheap. That was a very cheap van. And he actually bought it back from the insurance company. So he would have got it at even more of a discount. And that is the name of the game. He purchased it back, reached out to us, and we give him a bit more profit on it. And we're going to have a nice profit out of this one, I'm sure. So it's all back together. Like I said, a few little things to do in the background, but hopefully in the next video, we can crack on, and it, fingers crossed, should be the last one. So one other little thing I did want to put in the end of this video, hopefully quite a few of you did watch it to the end. Me and Chris have had a good chat about the second RS Turbo that we did purchase, and I'm afraid to say, guys, I can't talk him round. There's 2 weeks worth of welding on that car, Chris, to get it bang on, you reckon? It's quite a lot, wasn't it? And
it's not just that though, is it?
No, that was quite a lot of work, that car. Oh, and the roof skin, it needed the roof skin changed. So unfortunately, we are going to let that one go. I am going to probably advertise it on Instagram on Saturday just to give everybody a chance to buy it. And of course, whoever does come through sends their number with a reasonable offer. We haven't decided on a price yet. We're not going to be greedy with it, but obviously we do want to make a profit. So look out for that on Instagram Saturday. Like, subscribe, share, check out the merchandise. The link is down below in the description. And of course, if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram at Salvage Rebuilds. If you do enjoy the video, please do give it a massive thumbs up. It shows your appreciation and we really do appreciate it. Like, subscribe and share, and we'll see you very, very soon in the next one.